Hi guys, my name is Zoya. I'm very glad to see you today. And the first question is, how do you like my new picture? I hope you like it more because I wanted to make it more, true crimey. And I was trying to make something simple, but also something more creepy than before. I don't think that it's creepy actually. Looks like it's better. So, need your opinion in the comment section. Leave your comment, please. If you say that it looks like shit, I'm gonna change it. I promise you. And now you can see I'm not holding my very best microphone. It stands right in front of me. And now you can see my hands fully. Look at them. My hands. So, today's story is about a cuckoo crazy woman who would do anything to achieve her goals and her dreams. And you may be thinking, oh, again, a story about a psycho who could kill for a house or a nice car or something else. But no, this story is about a person who killed more than 10 people, and some of them were kids, and everything because she wanted to take the leftovers from the school canteen. And today I'm gonna tell you how, why, what for she did this. And you will see clearly why she was the last woman executed in the USSR. On March 17, 1987, in Kiev, Ukrainian USSR, 2 teenagers and 2 adults died from something in a school canteen. Another 9 people were taken to the hospital, and some of them were rushed to the ICU. One of the children was admitted to the hospital but died in just few days. And he died in terrible and very painful way. His teeth fell out. His hair fell out entirely. And all of these symptoms were very similar to symptoms you have when you was poisoned by the radiation. They were thinking that these people, they just ate something from Chernobyl, where the nuclear plant exploded just a year before this tragedy. The week later, one of the school workers died also, and he died in the same condition. His teeth and hair, they fell out, and he had weakness and joint pain. They were vomiting all the time. In that period of time, in the USSR, in each school was a specialist who examined the food before giving to the children. And of course, investigators, they wanted to talk to this person at first. And they wanted to ask how everything was and why this food was not examined that day. And how surprised they were when they realized that this specialist died just a week before this tragedy. And the name of the specialist was Natalia Kukharenko. She was a very principled person, and she was always keeping a close eye on everything happens in the kitchen, like how the food prepared, what kids are actually eating, how clean is everything, all the surfaces. She knew everything about this kitchen. She was a healthy woman. She wasn't older than 40 years old, and she was always like very good looking. And she began to feel unwell only after the party on Women's Day, like on 8th of March, in the end of the party in the school canteen. During the party, everyone was having fun. It was nice. Like everyone was dancing, and Natalia Kukharenko, she also was dancing with a colleague, okay, the man. And they were having fun, and everyone said that she was in the mood. But in the end of the party, for some reason, she was feeling bad. And no one else but Natalia Kukharenko felt bad after the party. Like everyone was eating the same food. Everyone was drinking the same drinks. She was the only person who felt bad after the party. And she started to feel bad right on this day, on 8th of March, in the evening after the party. She was feeling that her legs and arms are getting numb. She felt the weakness and she couldn't sleep at night because her joint pain was that strong. The next day, she came to the school, to her workplace, and said to her colleague that she felt very bad that night. After a few hours, she died in the hospital. And the reason was listed as a heart failure. And before death, she denied the fact that she has some problems with her heart, but because she never had any problems with her health. And she said to them that if she had any problems with her heart, she would know for sure. So now if they want to know if she was poisoned also or what happened to her, maybe to examine her body a little bit more carefully, they now need to take her out of the grave. And they did this, unfortunately. They had to. And after knowing that a nutrition specialist just died and kids are poisoned, they started to interview the school staff. And all of them said that Natalia Kukharenko was a nice person. Yes, she was a little bit of Karen, but she was in a bad relations with one person who works in a kitchen also. And that person was a dishwasher whose name is Tamara Ivanutina. In the school, she was known as a trash thief. Who's the be a thief?
Who would do that? Who could possibly do that? Who's the beer thief? You're the beer thief.
He was a trash thief. She regularly took all the leftovers from the school canteen to feed her pigs. I think you know that pigs are eating very much. Like they eat a lot. And you need a huge amount of food to give them to make them fat. She kept taking leftovers even though it was forbidden, and she was punished for it by Natalia Kukharenko. And you may be wondering, why was it prohibited? And I'm gonna tell you. There are several reasons for it. First, children are expected to eat as much food as they should. Like, you boy, you are 11 years old, and you should eat the whole served portion. And it doesn't matter if you had an appetite or you don't. If you need to eat, as the nutrition specialist said, you will. If too much of some food is left uneaten and you need to find out why they don't like some kind of food, like, for example, some cottage cheese or I don't know, for which reason there are so much leftovers, because maybe the food is uneaten because it's not tasty. Maybe there's the reason. So they always need to make some analysis on how kids are reacting to the food. And the last reason is just accounting. If the food starting to disappear without proper reason, that will cause a chaos in the kitchen. And that was the main reason why she hated Natalia Kukharenko. First one is that she is very strict, and sometimes she was helping with the food preparing, by the way. And the other reason, and the most important reason, is that she didn't give her the opportunity to take everything from the kitchen and to make the food worse, to make kids eat less, so her pigs will eat more. So they were arguing all the time, and Tamara, she openly hated Natalia Kukharenko, and everyone knew it. She was a big pain in the ass of Tamara Ivanutina. As it later revealed, Natalia Kukharenko, she wasn't the first person who mysteriously got ill and died in the school. Actually, the first person who died was Ekaterina Sherbань, who was a friend of Natalia Kukharenko and at the same time the main person in the kitchen. And she was also unhappy with Tamara Ivanutina, and they were aligned in the opinion that she should be fired. But the school principal, he couldn't do it because the salary on this position was miserable. So they couldn't stand her, but at the same time, they had to. So Ekaterina Sherbань also died with the same symptoms, and she died very quick way. And doctors thought that She just had a heart failure. On November 20, 1986, one first grader and one fifth grader chemistry teacher, they got sick for no reason and they had the same symptoms. They were vomiting, of course, that's a poisoning, a food poisoning as they thought, and their hair, they had hair loss. I don't know what about teeth, but this guy who was a chemistry teacher in the school before 20th of November, he had the nice haircut, but after he lost all of his hair. And these kids, one of them was a girl and one of them was a boy. They had the same symptoms. Like they were in a bad condition and they were very weak. Doctors, they thought that it's just a flu. I don't know which kind of flu can cause the symptoms, but yeah. Viktor Stadnik, the chemistry teacher, he said to them that he was playing football 3 times a week. He was very strong man, and the doctors, they could not figure out what exactly is happening to these people, and they blamed it on overwork. Specialists measured the radiation throughout the building, and everything appeared to be normal, especially considering the fact that Chernobyl disaster just happened a year before this tragedy. And the police started to put all the things together, and they had permission to exhume the body of Natalia Kukharenko because now it wasn't a choice. The body of Natalia Kukharenko contained thallium. Thallium is a rare, highly toxic, soft, silvery white chemical element with a symbol of Ti and atomic number 81. It resembles lead in appearance and physical properties, but it's extremely poisonous and can cause severe health damage or death. It's classified as a dangerous heavy metal that harms the nervous system, kidneys, liver, and heart. Formerly used as a rat and ant poison before restrictions due to human safety risks. After finding the thallium inside of the body of Natalia Kukharenko, they started to search for thallium everywhere. Experts from the police and public department of healthcare, they also came to the school and they examined everything. At first, they decided to inspect the chemistry and biology classrooms and they found nothing. Then they started to examine the whole kitchen and there was nothing too. The food preparation area, the dishwashing area, the whole canteen, thallium was nowhere. They noticed another strange thing happening in the kitchen. Not the thallium, but the dishwasher, Tamara Ivanutina, who's the trash thief, they felt like she's insane. This woman, she's acting very weird. She was practically pushing away the specialist from the kitchen and she was very rude. After the search, they found nothing, no traces of thallium in the kitchen, but the detectives who worked on the staff documents in the school, they found another strange thing about Tamara Ivanutina. While reviewing all the personal files of the school staff, they found out that she was using the fake employment record. It's like the little book which you are bringing from work to work, like if you are hired or if you are fired. And she was trying to hide her conviction for speculation. Under Soviet law, the speculation was prohibited and it barred her from working with kids. So she couldn't work at school at all. And for the police, of course, it wasn't hard to find out some more details from her personal life. So now, Tamara Ivanutina was the main suspect of something that happened to kids and to other stuff in the school. The police obtained the search warrant for the communal flat where Tamara's parents were living. And they started to search for thallium everywhere in there, and they noticed only one thing. Her parents were crazy too. Specialists didn't found any traces of thallium in there. Tamara, she wasn't living with her parents anymore, so they had to go to her house and search in there. And during the search, one of the specialists, she noticed the bottle of the oil inside of a Zinger sewing machine. And she noticed that the bottle is too heavy to be just an oil. That was the thallium. They found it. And of course, after this, they needed to find out where Tamara took the thallium from, because it's not the thing you can go buy in a grocery store. Since thallium was commonly used in geology, investigators checked geological laboratories across Kiev. Before long, they found a lab technician who admitted that she had been supplying the poison to the Maslenko family. They told her that it was needed to get rid of rats. In total, she had given them about 500 milliliters of the poison. The police started to examine all the members of the family of Maslenka and Ivanutina, and they found out that her parents are guilty too, and they are using the thallium too. Tamara's mother and father also had a clever plan how to take possession of the communal flat where they lived with their neighbors. Firstly, they killed a neighbor who was noisy, and another time they killed their relative who asked them to clean up the puddle in the bathroom. They were always in a bad mood, and they were very greedy people. And of course, they taught their children the same. Nina Matsabora, the younger sister of Tamara Ivanutina, she also killed her husband to get his flat and to live in this flat alone. She married an old guy for a reason, and before marriage, she had a nice plan how to get rid of him. So this family has always solved problems with murder. Tamara Ivanutina's first victim was her first husband. He was a truck driver, and she poisoned him to get his flat and to live in this flat alone. She didn't want to be his wife, but she wanted to have this flat. After getting this apartment from him, she remarried to another person who was also a truck driver. They met through Tamara's sister. Her sister told her that he has a good salary and he has a good family, and his family has a nice house in the heart of Kiev. So it's quite expensive. And they have a big yard, and they also have a barn. And it was always a dream for Tamara to have a barn and a house. So she decides to marry this man. It wasn't hard for her to get this man because she was a beautiful woman and she knew how to speak to a man, how to impress him, and to make him marry her as soon as possible. She quickly made Oleg to fall in love with her, and before long, they were already married. And right from the start, his mother, she didn't like her at all. She was always saying that Tamara is a snake. Be aware. You married a very bad woman. I'm asking you to not marry her. And Oleg, he didn't listen to his mother. Maybe in some situations it's okay to not listen to your mother, but here it was a big, big mistake. And his mother, she was thinking that she's very greedy and arrogant, and she has the nasty personality. And after the wedding, all of a sudden, his father got sick for no reason. Like before the wedding, he was quite healthy. He was old, yes, but he didn't have any big problems with his health, and he was like all right. Doctor came, gave him some medicine, and told him to just lie in bed and to relax. As soon as the doctor left, Tamara, she started to pretend like she is perfect. She started to give him the soup, and she started to feed him with a spoon, with a soup. We know what this soup contained, and she looked like a perfect daughter-in-law. But for some reason, The medicine didn't help, and nothing helped, and he was feeling worse and worse each day. And just in few days after the doctor came to their house, his father, he died. And on the funeral, his mother was feeling very horrible. She couldn't even stand on her feet. And Tamara, she was right in a way to help her too. She brings her the water with something which is a sedative, as she said. His mother dies in few days also. And one relative who was on a funeral too, she saw that Tamara, she put something from a little bottle to her like sedative or water thing. And Tamara was like, oh, nothing. She took this small glass and she crushed it. What was the reason? No one knows. But this woman who was crying, she was crying loud. And she was trying to prevent everything to happen. But everything happened as it happened. His mother died too in few days. And Oleg, he was heartbroken, but he didn't understand anything. And after the funeral, the second funeral, in 2 weeks, they are moving to the house which she was dreaming about. She had a great idea how to become rich. It was her childhood dream to become rich, no matter how, no matter which way. Her plan was to buy some pigs, settle them down in the barn, and then to feed them with leftovers from canteens, which cost pennies, and then to convert the meat and sala into money. I don't know the name of the sala in English, but I'll show you the picture. Yes, this is how the sala looks like. And it was a good plan actually, because if you have enough food for pigs and you have big fat pigs, you can sell the pork, you can sell the sala. By the way, I have sala in the fridge. Love sala so much. So you will sell everything, and after this you will get money. And selling meat was very profitable in the Soviet Union because it was prohibited too. It was illegal, and people could make a fortune out of this business. And the fatter pigs became, the more money she can make out of this. At first, she started to buy leftovers from canteens in her district through a friend who worked in the canteen as a dishwasher also. But then she decided that she doesn't want to pay anything to anyone, so she will go and she will get a job as a dishwasher, for example, and she will take the leftovers without paying. And in September 1986, she got the job in a school canteen in the school number 16. But there was one person who was standing on her way, and this person's name is Natalia Kukharenko. When she noticed that Tamara is taking away the leftovers, she started to be angry with her, and she tried to stop her. And by now, you already know what she did to her. There is another theory that investigators talked about, that Tamara was just seeing how children are eating, like how much they are eating. So she tried her best to make the food worse, to make it uneatable. And when she noticed that kids, even though they are eating everything, like kids are starving, she decided to just kill them too because they eat too much. What her pigs will eat if the kids are eating all the food. The prosecutors, they believe that it wasn't just an impulse, like it wasn't random thing to do. She was planning to kill some kids to make less kids, so more pigs in her barn. Because the children now, they were getting in front of her business plan. And the trial, it lasted several months. In the end, Tamara Ivanutina, she was sentenced to death, and the other members of the family, they received prison sentences. Nina Matsubora, she was sentenced to 15 years and she was released in 2002, and no one knows what happened to her afterward. Mara's father, Anton Maslenko, he died inside of the prison, and her mother, she also died inside of the prison too. And she was sentenced to 13 years in prison. And when the judge asked Tamara Ivanutina if she's sorry about what happened, if she's regretting, and she never showed any remorse. And when the judge asked her if she's sorry about what happened, she said, I'm not raised that way. Like, I'm not raised that way. I'm raised to people and to be greedy by these monsters, Anton and Maria Maslenka. And she was the one of 3 women ever executed in the USSR. And now you know why. I hate people who are greedy. I hate people who are kids. I hate people who are people. And it was very hard for me to make this video because I wanted to kill the person who's already killed. Okay, guys, that was all for today, and I hope you're all right. I'm very happy that there are some new people on our channel, and I'm sending you a kiss and saying bye bye to you. And yeah, by the way, stay safe. Don't believe anyone because rats are everywhere. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.